more than half a century after they were driven from their homeland, stripped of their islands and scattered across continents. The Chagossians have taken an absolutely extraordinary and unprecedented step. They formed a government in exile as a last stand to keep the Chagos Islands as British. Well, earlier today, the Reform UK Deputy Leader Richard Tice indicated that Reform were considering recognising this government in exile.
This important interruption is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your money and your identity. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code here to get ExpressVPN right now and save up to 73% on annual plans today. Right, let's get back into it.
I'm delighted to present to you now the interim First Minister of the Chagossian exile government, Misley Mandarin, as well as my panel. Of course, that's still Serrano Jayawardena and the journalist and former press secretary Paddy Ashdown, Joe Phillips. Misley Mandarin, welcome to the studio. It's an astonishing development, and it was in this very studio, in fact, you first said you would fight and you would die for your country. Now the interim leader.
Yes, thank you for having me, Martin, and all your GBNews viewers. Yes, I must still stand by my word. I will die for my country to stay British. And I'm so proud my people choosing me to be the First Minister. And I can't tell how much pride in me to do the fight. Now the fight begins in another stage now. Thank you so much.
Mr. Mandarin, of course, you came here tonight and you also brought your extended Chagossian family. We think we've got a picture. Look at that. Good magnificent. We've got a whole army of Chagossians there.
That's not his family, that's his cabinet.
OK, or a bit of both. But on a serious point, Misley, clearly you're the most passionate people. What are you hoping to achieve?
So the main important, that's where we're in the situation right now, is a military base, the UK and US military base. As Chagossian, as British Chagossian, we're going to secure that military base. So if you give the island to Mauritius, there's no guarantee to it with the influence of China in the Indian Ocean, in the Indo-Pacific. But us, as a government in exile, as a British overseas territory government, we're going back. We're going to secure that UK and US military base as British Chagossian, and we're under the sovereignty of the British and under the King Charles III.
Are you hopeful that the establishment will listen to you? You have the backing, I understand, of Reform UK. The Labour Party, though, they seem to be standing by their guns. They seem determined to, some people might say, surrender the Chagossian Islands. So
the Labour Party, they're excused about the certainty of the base, right, the legality of the base. If they give that to Mauritius, there's no any certainty. It will be the same thing because we're going to have to fight again as British to get back the island from Mauritius, but we don't want that. So the government better listen to us as British Chagossians, and we never give up. And I will say something in my language, in Creole French, Chagossien fort, Chagossien vivant. It means the Chagossian are strong and Chagossian are alive.
Every time you're online, your money and your identity are at risk. Scams now make up nearly 40% of all crime in the UK. That's thousands of attacks every single day. In Britain, someone has their identity stolen every 2 minutes, leaving victims with wrecked finances and years of stress. The threat is real, and you could be next. ExpressVPN is your shield against criminals. It locks down your devices, hiding your personal information and financial details from hackers, scammers, and anyone else looking to exploit you. So whether you're checking your bank, shopping, or just browsing, ExpressVPN makes you invisible to prying eyes trying to steal your money and your identity. ExpressVPN shields your data with military-grade AES 256 encryption. That's the same standard trusted by the US government to guard classified information. This is the highest level of online security you can get. So don't wait for disaster. Secure up to 14 devices at once and get powerful password protection. Real support is available 24/7 because cybercrime never sleeps. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN plus 4 months extra for free. Every moment you hesitate is another moment you're exposed. Protect your money and protect your identity. Get ExpressVPN right now.
Serrano, Joe Phillips, it's rousing stuff. You're presumably in full support.
Well, I mean, we feel like we're old friends because we have seen you so much, but never this smart, First Minister.
Thank you.
So congratulations. No, I mean, you know, I applaud Misley and his colleagues, many of whom I've had the pleasure to meet here over the last few months. You know, they really are fighting for something that they believe in. And I think even last week when Nigel was here, we were talking about this muddle, that the reason the government seems to be going down this path is because of a UN report. And then last week there was another UN report basically saying, oh, hold on a minute, this isn't very good because you're depriving people like Misley of their human rights. So, you know, it would be sensible, wouldn't it, to just pause, have a conversation and rethink.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm very pleased Misley sort of confirmed the key point here for many viewers, which is the world is a dangerous place. And to give away a strategic military asset at this moment in time to an ally of China is a very bad decision. It's very concerning. It leads us back to the conversation we were having around the influence of the Chinese government in the current government today. And it's right that everyone, Chagossians, British citizens, all challenge it together. And I'm also delighted Misley confirmed that this government in exile has been formed, has sprung out of nowhere, is absolutely committed to being a government as part of a British overseas territory and under the Crown, which is absolutely crucial.
So, First Minister Misley Mandarin, we know that the Labour Party watched this programme. If the Prime Minister was to listen to you now, what would be your message to Sir Keir Starmer?
I would say to Sir Keir Starmer, do the right thing. Protect British territory, protect British asset, protect British people. This is very, very important to us. And we are here. We did a government in exile. This is our last resort to find justice after half a century, because my ancestors were exiled as British, and we returned as British to protect the UK and US military base of Chagossian. And it says on my hat there, the freedom, the footprint of freedom, right? That's what we want to do. There, we want to be free on our island and protect the base.
Do you have an embassy? Would you like to get an HQ in London?
Yes, we want to do that because all the British overseas territory, you got their houses. You got like Gibraltar House, you got Falkland Island House. Why not buy a house? We need to have this. We've been put apart for so many times. And one thing again, we have to remember, we still got a court case, right? And even our island is so important to us, but we can't be in. But we got many people who are helping us, and we do crowdfunding to still to finance the court case as well, while we're waiting for a judgment on the court case as well.
Misley, have you had any contact with the Foreign Secretary, Yvette Cooper?
No, at all.
What, no, even now you're now
or
a government...
the Commissioner.
Or the Commissioner.
No.
Not at all, but we hope so very soon.
Now you're a government in exile.
Yeah, we hope so very soon.
Yes.
Presumably that gives you the right. And I'll never forget when you first came in to this studio and you talked so passionately, Misley, about how you fought for Queen and country.
Yeah.
You're prepared to pay the ultimate price for Queen and country as a British man.
Yeah.
And that spirit is very much alive in you now.
Still. And the first time we met, and I said, I will die for my country. And is that still stand, right, for my country to stay British. I know the British value. I learned it in the British Army. And all the kids, the Chagossian kids who were born in England, they learn British value. And we are proud Christian as well.
OK, well, the interim First Minister of the Chagossian exile government, Misley Mandarin, first of all, I'd like to shake your hand.
Thank you so much.
Secondly, very, very well done. Very impressive. You've scrubbed up pretty well there. Beautiful stuff. Merry Christmas.
I do like the T-shirts.
I think we should all just wish this amazing piece of democratic uprising a huge round of applause.
Good luck to you.
Misley Mandarin, thank you very, very much for joining us in the studio. It's an absolute pleasure. And it's always just so lovely to see all you Chagossian British. Can we get that picture on screen again of the Chagossian army in the GBNews green room? Let's gather up. Look at that. What a magnificent bunch. You'll never meet a more patriotic bunch of people in your entire life. The beautiful Chagossian family. Love to you all.